measuring your success by strengthening relationships, not just booking the role. So what do we mean by that? That can mean your agent is seeing you continually produce better work and better auditions. So you're strengthening your relationship with your agent, and they're feeling more and more confident with the scope of
Actually,
roles.
on Sunday, I actually met my agent for the very first time, and one of the first things that she said to me was, "I have watched all of your auditions, and you are one of the only people on this roster that I haven't had to send a tape back and say, 'Can you do it again?' Either
Nice.
for lighting or for choices, whatever."
Right.
So that's a huge compliment. That's a big thing, and like I've made her life easier. And that's a very good thing. I think we've talked about this before. You want to think of yourself as a part-time worker. You want to make each and every person's job easier. You, as Tom says, you want to be a creative partner. You don't want to be someone that is looking for advice each and every time. You want to be the person that does the work and gets it done easily so that everyone else has an easier time with you.
Right. And that gives confidence in your agent to know that if they do fight for you and they do put you
Mm-hmm.
forward, they're not going to look like an idiot where they fought for you and then you sent them a tape where you fucking shot it in your closet with shitty lighting and you read your own lines into the opposite reader and it was all wonky and your internet sucked. Like, and then they're like, great, I look stupid, I look unprofessional, you look
Mm-hmm.
unprofessional, I can't send this in. Why am I fighting for it? Versus the reliability of knowing every time I submit Brandon for something, when he accepts it, it's a professional
Good
looking
quality.
like there's no issues there. Quality, it's always top notch, and
Mm-hmm.
the performance and creative choices as an artist are strong as well too. And
And
there's never that
gets it
doubt.
in on time.
Yeah, if not early. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like you
And
like yeah, go.
And so strengthening relationships there. Another biggie is casting directors is yeah, you don't book it. Like again, most if you think like the number I've heard was like 5 to 600 for a one-liner, 5 to 600 people will get submitted for it. And then who knows what they say yes to. Maybe there's 50, maybe there's 100. But think about that. So just call it even numbers. Just say 100 people audition. It means 99 people get no. And if you're thinking those 99 people got nothing out of it or those 99 losers, then we are in, I mean, we're in one of the hardest businesses that there is for that math, that it is highly competitive. But when you're also gaining other victories when you don't book roles, then you're continually progressing. So if you don't book a role, but you strengthen a relationship with the casting director, with casting assistants, with the production team, so they see your audition, they think it's strong, they shortlist you, maybe you get a call back, it goes to production, they lean another way. Yeah, you didn't get it, but they're not thinking, oh, Brandon's a shitty actor, we can't book him. They're thinking his tape was great, we could have booked him. Like chances are on everything, it's like any role, even like you look at Hollywood stuff, it's very rare that there's a movie that you watch where it was like this only would have worked with that one actor. Chances
Mm-hmm.
are it came down to a short list of 5 Academy Award nominees and they only could go with one of them. Yeah, maybe it would have been a different movie with a different actor, but it likely still would have worked. And when you go down the ladder of to supporting and smaller roles, I hate to say it, but actors are fairly replaceable at that level. So you got to be finding victories when you don't book that role, and the victory is a casting director gets to see you progress and improve. The production team doesn't book you for that role, but it's a long season or multiple seasons. So we're like, we like that guy. Let's find him for something else. Sometimes you specifically don't book the role that you were going out for because they don't want to burn you for that role. They have something bigger in mind for you. They're like, he's really good. I don't want to use him for that. Let's save him. There's that arc later in the series. Let's see what he can put forward for that role. And they'll
Mm-hmm.
save you. And one of the biggest mistakes that sometimes we see, and I've noticed, it's very rare here at Actors Audition Club, just because of our ethos and nature and positive positive attitude and everything here. But every once in a while, someone will come in where a casting director has brought them in for the same show multiple times. And every once in a while, you'll hear an actor complain like, oh, I fucking auditioned for this casting director for this show 5 times already. What the fuck? Like, quit wasting my time. Just cast me already. Rather than thinking, hey, this casting director and this production clearly likes me, clearly sees that I do good work. They want to continually give me these opportunities. The chips just haven't fallen my way for one way or the other. But seeing that as a victory and seeing those as wins rather than seeing it as, oh, they're fucking wasting my time. Like that's such a backwards approach to it. So if you're strengthening your relationship with your agent, with all the work that with your continued improvement in your work, with the casting directors, with production. Also, you don't know that some a producer or someone on the production team, maybe they move on and then they're with a new production at some point and then they remember you. Oh shit, that was the guy. We didn't cast him for that, but he was really funny or he was really great or he did some really unique things. Yeah, let's bring him in for this. And a lot of this comes under the heading of playing the long game. You can look at the short victory and just be like, I got to book this role. And if I don't book this role, I lost this game. But you want to be looking at things over the long haul and over a long career. And if you're incrementally improving over a career, you sort of guaranteeing your long-term success. Whereas someone thinking short term, what do they want right now? And if I don't do what they want, and if I don't book the role, I lost. You're just setting yourself up for repeated failure. And then you're avoiding doing the things that would, quote unquote, guarantee your success long term.
Yeah. This is a sprint, not a marathon.
Right. But it is a marathon.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. There you go.
Yeah, or it's a series of sprints that when you add them up turns into a marathon. Stand by here, getting a phone call. All right. And so the other thing I just want to relate to this is, again, if you're thinking these long-term things, there's that analogy, or you might have heard I don't know what you call it, a riddle or a question of, Brandon, do you want $1 million? I'll give you $1 million right now, or I'll give you a penny that doubles every day for 30 days. What do you want?
The $1 million.
You want the $1 million? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you
it would be more.
Unless you die before the 30 days, what you want is the penny that doubles every day. You want incremental growth
because a penny should be $1. I feel like a penny is too small.
Well, you're wrong. 30 days of a penny doubling ends up with like it's over $5.3 million.
Really?
Yep. I'll show you the math. Okay. After day 1 is a penny. Day 2, 2 cents. 3, 4 cents. 8 cents. 16 cents. By day 10, it's still only $5.12. By day 15, it's $163.84. By day 20, it's still only $5,242.88. By day 25, it's still only $167,000. So if you're by day 25, you're like, oh fuck,
shit,
I fucked up. I lost $850,000. What a shit deal. And then in the last 5 days, it doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles to $568,709.12. So that's just the power of like compound interest, or the power of exponential growth. And it's really a flat line for a long time. And then all of a sudden those doubles start getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So it's that idea, and that's everything we're saying here, is the $1 million is the booking right now. Oh, I booked it. The doubling of the penny is strengthening a relationship with a casting director, strengthening a relationship with a producer or your agent, playing your own game. So just realizing that it is it's long term. It is a journey versus just these little quick wins. And
Yeah.
if you play with that mindset, yeah, you still fight hard in the short term, and you still do your best to win every audition. I actually think that the goal should never be your goal shouldn't be to book the role, because you don't have any control over that. Your goal
Oh.
should be to put forth your best audition possible right now, and
Mm-hmm.
then whatever happens with that happens with that. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else on strengthening relationships?
Um,
I think that also maybe it also applies to other actors as well too. Like you're strengthening relationships with other actors in your community, finding
mhm.
peers, finding a community, finding a team, other people um, in film industry as well. One of my biggest like hacks to booking roles was when I see people on social media advertising casting. If it's something that doesn't fit me, I always tag other people in it,
Mhm.
and the amount of tags and incoming things, like I've had tons of bookings and tons of roles that I wouldn't have even known about, but I was recoed, and someone sent me the casting. But usually it's someone sending it to me who I've sent them multiple things to. So just the idea of building a team, strengthening a community, strengthening relationships, like every
That's how.
business. Well, I
Yeah.
was just going to
That's
say,
how. Oh, you go.
go ahead,
Sorry. No,
go
you
ahead.
go. No, no.
No, you go.
Okay. Well, that's how I ended up booking Cinderella, is because
Right,
you recommended me to one of your friends for one of their shows for the same company. I didn't end up getting that role, but the audition went really well that they ended up keeping me in mind for this show that I'm doing right now.
right,
And so, like, that's just an example of like how it can benefit you in the long
right,
term by making these relationships. A
right,
friend gave me a recommendation to one of their friends to audition for a show that they were directing. I auditioned, it went really well. I didn't end up getting it, but then later on down the line, that company kept me in mind and was like, "Hey, we would really love for you to be in this production. Would you be interested?" And it's led to one of the best experiences I've ever had.
and probably I think it's a bigger, more prominent role. I think it's been a longer run too, so
Mm-hmm.
ultimately you probably made more money from this one. But imagine the energy difference if you would have been like, if after that process you would have been like, oh fuck those guys, they didn't cast me, how dare they, fucking assholes, didn't put me in their thing even though Lars recommended me, like I knew the guy, why didn't they cast me in that? Like, and sometimes people do that too, where they do get opportunities and they do get referrals, or someone in production does know them and throws them a bone and says, hey, yeah, we would love, not saying you have the role, but we would love you to audition for this. And then
Mm-hmm.
they don't get it. Then they resent that. Instead of being grateful for the opportunity, they're like, well, how dare they ask me to audition? I thought I had an in and I thought he was going to book me. Like, what the fuck kind of friend is that? You know, like that kind of vibe, where you're not grateful for anything versus,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that went well, that was positive, and let's see how that works. And now I know a new production company, now I know a new director, someone else knows who I am and knows the work that you do. So
Yeah.
yeah, and this business again, and Thomas said this is, every business first is a what you know business,
Mm-hmm.
and then who you know. You can't just because you know an uncle in film, like if you were to just cast you in it and you don't have the skills and you're not able to perform at a high level on sets, under the pressure of a crew and all this equipment and lights and all this stuff, then you're going to drop the ball. But eventually, it is about relationships. So if all you're doing is training, but you're not making any relationships and nobody knows you and you're not fostering and nurturing those relationships, following up with gratitude and with thank you when you are cast, and when making an effort when you are on set to meet as many people as possible, meeting other actors, meeting the assistant directors and the directors and the production coordinators and all those people, and being
Mm-hmm.
a pleasant person on set, being a professional person, being someone that they're like, oh, he was really fun. Every time he was on set, it was positive, it was professional, he was there on time, we never had to look for him, he was never causing us more problems, he wasn't a project, he was a true collaborator and a partner. Then all of a sudden, everything you do get now you have this giant resource of other people who know, like, and trust you. And you hear that in business a lot, is the know, like, and trust factor. The reality is we don't generally like to do business with people who are strangers, who we don't know. Certainly we don't like to work with people that we don't like.
Mhm.
And we don't, even if you know someone and like them, if you don't trust them because you're like, the guy kind of drops the ball, or he's often late, or maybe he's got vices and things that creep into his life that fuck up his professionalism, late night partying or substance stuff. Like, some of that is like, yeah, I love you and I like you and I know you, but I don't know if I trust that on the day you're going to deliver, because there's been other times you had opportunities and you didn't show up. So, and
Mhm.
I know that's
Yeah.
something that you pride yourself on. You're extremely reliable. You always show up on time. If you say you're going to be there, I know you're going to be there. And if you're not, my assumption is usually like, I wonder what has happened to Brandon. Some emergency must have happened. Not, oh no, here we go again. Brandon's missing in action. I'm never thinking
Mhm.
that. I'm like, almost to the point, you almost want to be so reliable where if you don't show up, people are like, is he dead? He's either sick or dead, because like that, and that's kind of what you want. You don't want people thinking, well, it's quarter after his call time, who knows when he's going to show up. You want to be like, whoa, this is weird. He's never not here. He's always here. And then that people can rely on you, and you want people to be able to like bet on you and go all chips in on you, where they're like, yeah, I would vouch for this guy. I would, or girl, I would stake a claim to them. And
Mhm.
because you trust them, and you have a relationship with them. So build those relationships.